Honestly, I feel great. No shin splints, no runner's knee. I've never had a running coach, but I figured I played sports growing up. I know how to run, right? But I've realized that running 90 feet to first base is very different than running 26.2 miles. If you feel like your running form isn't 100% efficient, this video is for you. Welcome back. We are in week 5 of my 18-week series where I am training for my second ever marathon. Goal is sub 4 hours as a dad with a busy schedule. To hit that time, I can't just rely on grit. I need efficiency. So in this video, I'm chatting with a running coach, not to fix an injury, but to find out if I'm accidentally wasting energy on my runs. Make sure to share this video with anyone else who enjoys suffering like we do. And let me know in the comments any changes you've made to your running form that had some big impact. Here we go. I'm here with my friend Allie. She has been a running coach for 16 years now and has run a handful of half marathons. She's done full marathons. What keeps you running all these years? What is your favorite part?
I like getting out of my head. So running for me mentally is just the challenge because you against yourself, right? So it's not like other group sports. It's not like a team effort. It's literally you against yourself and whatever you're dealing with that day, whether it be a time, whether it be an ailment, whether it be you just wanting to run a different race. So running gives me all of that. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah, exactly. Since I've never had any sort of coaching, I figured she'd be a great person to take a look at my form, give tips and pointers to anyone else out there who's looking to run more efficient and make running easier. Because it doesn't always have to be hard. It shouldn't always be hard. It should be fun and it should get hard, but not be hard all the time. So we're gonna give you some pointers on how to run more efficiently. Let me start with what I know, which is very little, and then you can give me tips. So obviously when you're running distance, you want shorter, higher cadence. You want to land midsole of your foot. You're not doing this. That's what a lot of people do, and it's going to injure your knees really bad. I'm also thinking arms back, relax, arms go back, drive. And I've kind of recently discovered, I don't even know how I can describe this, but I'm kind of using more of my glutes to run, more of my hips, rather than more quad dominant. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. So a lot of sprinters are quad dominant because that's where you get your power, right? So foot to ground is your power. Distance, you want to think of it as a bicycle, like shock absorber type thing. Your legs are impacting all of that. So you want your legs as bouncy as possible, which you're right about the middle of your foot. That's the most springy part that you can efficiently run on for a longer distance, which that's good. A lot of people, like you said, do the heel, that's bad, or on their toes is also bad. So you want a good middle line there.
And that's tough to get used to. It's taken me a long time to get used to it.
The best way I can describe it to somebody is if you were to bounce your leg, like if you're sitting in a chair and you don't bounce a lot of toe, your leg would get tired. You don't bounce on your heel, your leg would get tired. You bounce right on that middle part of your foot, and you could probably bounce like that all day long for the fidgets in your life,
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it to somebody. As far as arms, you're pretty good, you're pretty loose. You don't want to be milking a cow, like I tell my runners, where a lot of people do this with the arm slings. You don't want to be milking the cow. Yep. You want to be nice and loose. As far as your hands go, you can add in making sure that those stay loose. You almost want to act like whatever finger is comfortable, like you're holding a potato chip in between your fingers, to where if you crunch down too hard and you're really tight on your hands, you'd break that chip. You don't want to be that tight because that's going to translate to your arms and your shoulders and make you pull back. You don't want that. You want to be going forward. So light with your hands as you're running, like you're holding a potato chip in them. As far as efficiency with your arms, you obviously lift. You're not a runner. So translating that,
Amen.
You're getting there. It's great. But you've lifted, you've done gymnastics. You're very shoulder heavy, which I can see in your running. So I don't know if it's just because of how you're built, it would take a little bit more, but are you holding your shoulders or do you feel pretty relaxed?
Feel relaxed.
So you're just in shape. That's good. No, that's good. As far as running and shoe wise, you do have a little bit of pronation.
And it's more my right foot, right?
Yeah. So I don't know, that could be a weaker thing, which is why you could be feeling your quad a little bit more.
Well, it's been pretty good recently.
That's good.
I don't feel in my quad, but I have had some pain on the inside of my ankle, kind of.
Because you're rolling in. Yeah. So shoes, you could look at that. But I mean, overall, your form is pretty good.
What are some of the biggest mistakes you see? like newer runners make?
Oh man, overexerting themselves, thinking that they have to just go. A lot of people think that you can't run easy and for fun. That's probably the hardest thing. I get, oh, running's not fun a lot. I usually get athletes from other sports to come in and I tell them, well, I can condition you for that sport. And then they end up liking running. So just in general, getting past that hurdle of I'm not a runner, I'm not a sprinter, I'm not fast, I think is the number one mistake. And anybody can do it. I know we get into shoes and we get into form and all of that, but you just have to start, and people don't start.
Yeah.
So people just have to start.
And in my last video, I talked about zone 2 running and like keeping it easy. And I mean, even me, like I look at Strava and I see all these times. I'm like, oh, they don't even run that much, but they're running a 7-minute mile pace. But there's a difference between running a race and building that capacity.
Yes. I have that conversation a lot, right? So I've ran a lot. I ran for a lot of my life. People look at me and think I don't want to run with you because I can't. Right. That's not the case. Anybody can run. And I watched your zone 2 video. You hit a lot of really good points. I use the conversational technique a lot. Breathing is probably the number 2 thing that people need to work on, other than form and just going out and doing it. But breathing and making sure you're getting enough air, or else that lactic acid is going to build up more.
2 questions. So breathing in your nose, out your nose ideally. Do you do that on a certain cadence, like every couple of steps? Like talk through that a bit.
So me personally, I do every 2 steps. So in, out, out. So with my steps. So in, out, out, in, out, out. So that no matter how fast I'm running, it doesn't change. So if I want to go faster, I'm getting more air. If I want to go slower, I need less air. And that's how you can talk in between your steps, or use the out breath as you're talking.
Okay. Makes sense. What is an ideal cadence? So when we're talking cadence, we're talking how fast your feet move when you're running. So generally a higher cadence helps injury, but also making sure you're not overstriding. Is there an ideal cadence for people?
I mean, you can beat the bush on this one. I've talked to Olympians about it. I've talked to, my beginning runners about it. I like to stick for an easy run. I'm assuming we're talking easy run, like long distance. I would say anywhere from 160 to 175, 180. Probably, depending on how tall you are, your stride length, stuff like that. As long as you're hitting that, and if you need to go slower, obviously go slower. But I like to stick generally around that range.
Okay. Number 1 thing that you would tell somebody to make the biggest impact on their running efficiency, what would it be?
Oh, number 1 thing.
You could tell one person. So you coach high school. What is like the number 1 thing you repeat most often?
Oh gosh, probably get your knees up. I have a lot of runners. Yeah, I have a lot of runners that do like this shuffle. They think low is shuffle, and that's not the case. So it's a lot of form based with actually lifting your knees more so than what you would think, which is really silly that's the number 1 thing.
Yeah, so you're not thinking like high knees, obviously, but like...
We get a lot of beginner runners that run with really tight glute, which then pull their legs really tight. So it's a lot of like shuffling because they've never ran distance before. And I've even talked to people here about it because they either are sprinting or they're shuffling and they don't know how to do that middle ground.
So I feel like I kind of shuffle, but would you say that's true, or?
Not as bad as you think. A little bit. I would say you could probably bring your knees up a little bit and your toes are still pointing inward. So if you really want me to critique you, I would have you run on a line where you're trying to hit your foot, your toe forward every time, because even a little bit of sideways, your body's going like this.
Yeah, right.
Right? So that's not efficient. So I have them run on a track and have that hit that line every time. Point your toes forward and then focus on, you should be like half of a step in front of your midline, because realistically your shoulders are there, so your shoulders and your toe are in line. Does that make sense?
So run on a line to make sure your feet are going straight like this. Okay, so mine are going in like this right now. Oh, okay. So I was thinking I was still going straight, but it was kind of caving in.
Your toes have a little bit. Not super bad, but a little bit.
So feet straight, yeah. So feet straight, going on a line helps. And then as far as like cadence, you're saying, maybe not talking about cadence, but you're talking...
More so efficiently with your legs. So to get that knee, so about a half a step in front of you, because your shoulders, as you're leaning forward, your shoulders and your toes should be in a line, right? So that's probably why you're feeling a little bit more in your leg, because you want it less of a, think if you're stacked, more like a squat or a lunge, over time your legs start hurting, right? If you have a little bit more forward, your body is absorbing more of that together. So you could probably do this for a lot longer than if I asked you to do that squat for, right? Yeah, trying to make it make sense for your back.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Anything else you wanna share?
Try running, it's a lot of fun. I swear it is, I promise.
We got somebody shaking their head over here.
I promise it's fun. I've gotten several people to do their first half with me. It's a good time. I even said I would never do a full again, and I did a full, and I want to train for another one now, postpartum, so.
Yeah, fresh baby. Are you doing a flying pig?
I am not doing the Flying Pig this year. I'm actually doing the Indy Mini. It's the same weekend. So yeah, I'll be doing the half for the Indy Mini that
Cool. What's your Instagram?
at @A_Elizabeth13.
All right, give her a follow. Got some good tips. Postpartum and baby tips too. So if any of that interests you, go give her a follow. Jodi, you are running the Flying Pig, correct?
I am.
Excited?
The half marathon. I'm so excited.
Have you done a half marathon before?
Yes, I have. Long time ago, 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Okay. What has been the hardest part of training so far?
The winner.
Amen.
The treadmill, the winner.
Amen. What's your goal? Do you have a goal for this one?
Under
coming up?
215 because my best was 217.
So
That's it. Not a big goal.
have your fastest half marathon. It's a pretty big goal.
Yeah.
And 10 years later.
Yeah.
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 All right.
So I feel like I'm stronger now than I used to be. So that's a plus.
What's been your favorite part of training so far?
Just liking it this time. I felt like I actually enjoyed the run, and I didn't think that 10 years later that I would.
So what's the difference?
Don't really know.
All right, well, keep it up, I guess.
But I really do enjoy the running now. So
Nice.
it's fun.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
I am so sick and tired of this cold weather. There's not much more I want to do right now than go for a nice long run in warm, sunny, 80, 90 degree temp. Instead, we're stuck with this bad boy since it's been below zero pretty much all week. On top of that, we just got back from Indianapolis. We went to go see Monster Jam, which was awesome, but a very long weekend. And honestly, a long run today wasn't something I was super excited about. I'd say this week was an okay week. I was surprisingly faster on just about all my runs than what was intended, which is a good and bad thing. I need to, I think, slow down a bit because I'm still building that base like I've talked about. But I'm also thinking maybe it's just because I'm getting better, more efficient, which is a good thing. I did have to change up my plan a little bit though this week. Runna has a really nice feature where you can add sick time. So if you're feeling under the weather, you can put that into your calendar on Runna and it will adjust your plan accordingly. So I use that this week because on Wednesday or Thursday I was supposed to do a speed run and I just wasn't feeling very good, and an easy run sounded a lot better. And so it adjusted, and that's what I did. So that concludes this week. We are going to cross our fingers that we can get some outdoor workouts this week. Even 30s. I mean, just give me 30s. That's all I'm asking for at this point. Something that I can work with. Sub-zero, I'm not going out there. Gonna be honest, I'm not going out there in sub-zero degrees. Make sure to like, subscribe, and see you next week.